having an emergency. And you know what? My whole hope is you will never have to pull this baby out. Or the only reason you pull it out is for all the fun stuff. Watching movies in the backyard, getting power out at the picnic for the family reunion. Like, I hope EcoFlow is always just a positive experience. But when it is a bad experience, you're gonna be really thrilled you have it, because when everyone's without power, now you have power. Here's what we're doing, and this is the last and final half hour. It is not airing later tonight. This is the last chance, last show. We'll be offering our extended today's special. So the pricing ends at midnight tonight. So here's what's happening. You have two choices. You can get the EcoFlow with the solar panel and the trolley, or you can get just the EcoFlow with the trolley. I personally recommend always grabbing it when you can get it with our configuration, because then you're never without power. You don't have to go and find a plug somewhere, 10 blocks over at a friend's house to recharge this. This continues to give you power, and Justin will explain that in just a second. How are we doing on value? If you bought just this right now, it's $699 just for this, and it's darn well worth it. That peace of mind knowing you always have power is so worth it. On top of that, you would spend another $349 to get the solar panel. And by the way, that's on sale, not our full price. It's usually over $400. And then you'd spend another $129 to get this awesome aluminum trolley, which is heavy duty, folds down, makes it super easy to make this even more portable. So right now, for $70 less than the price of the EcoFlow, you are getting a $349 solar panel and a $129 trolley. What does that mean? You're getting $480 of real, honest-to-goodness extras that you normally would have to buy separately. But it's all for right now. This is your last chance. It's the final show. And at midnight tonight, the whole deal ends. And it doesn't go up like $5 or $10. It literally goes up to almost $1,200 if you decide to wait. Make sure in this last half hour, you also check out, because if you put it in your cart and you think that's a safety zone and you can check out tomorrow, it is not. We will take it out of your cart and we will give it to someone who's actively purchasing it right now. All right, Justin, who's been one of our electronic experts for many years. Justin, I told you you would share kind of a surprise with everybody, that they might not know about this.
You know what, so we do such an amazing job. We talk about innovation. What we do on top of that is we create an unbelievable just experience. So when you pick this up and you say, well, I want to make sure as something that I'm going to be relying on, there's got to be a decent warranty. We don't do a 1-year warranty. We don't do a 2-year warranty or even a 3-year. We give you a 5-year warranty. And there's a reason because of that, or there's for that. The reason for that is because this isn't going to just last you 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. In fact, not even 5 years. This is going to last you up to a minimum of 10 years. That's because we have something called life cycles. All these batteries have life cycles. Everything on your phone, same thing. The phone dies, we recharge it every day. That's a life cycle. If you were to do that, just like our phone, recharge it, deplete it once a day, you could do that every single day for the next 10 years before your EcoFlow only charges from 0 to 80%. But here's the kicker on this one.
That's amazing. On
our previous model, you could do it 3,000 times. Before that, roughly about 300. This one, your Delta 3, you could do that 4,000 times. You can use this every single day for the next 10 years and beyond, which is why we do a 5-year warranty. And how can you use it every single day? Well, here we are. We're in the bedroom. We have what we call EPS. This is what we used to call all of our other models. This is a UPS, which is something maybe you've heard of before, and I'm not talking about the mail delivery company. It's called an uninterrupted power source. So we used to have a 30 millisecond switchover. This is a 10 millisecond switchover. For instance, Suze, if your husband's working on programming, software, whatever he's doing, connected to his Starlink, and all of a sudden he loses power, he loses everything, if he had everything connected to his EcoFlow and his EcoFlow connected to the wall, he wouldn't even skip a beat. So while you're using this every single day for maybe a home office or, for instance, a CPAP machine in the middle of the night, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this on really quickly here. You can be running this all night long. And even if you lose power in the middle of the night, you won't even know it, because our EcoFlow is going to automatically kick in and continue to power that CPAP machine. And you know the nice thing about doing that too is this CPAP machine will be way louder than your EcoFlow. Your EcoFlow runs at 30 decibels. It's the quietest we've ever done for any of our EcoFlows of this capacity. So you're gonna use it right next to your bed. Talk about reliability, talk about safety, and talk about all the different aspects that you can use your EcoFlow. We talk about emergencies a lot, but the reality is that you're gonna be using this way more for fun stuff and things like this than for those emergencies. So, we talked about staying cool and using our medical devices. I love going over here. I've got my, my portable AC unit. I lived in an apartment for a long time that had a window AC units. Didn't love them, but I dealt with them because that's what you do in Florida, especially when you want some of these older units in these older homes. But if I lost power, which we did during the hurricanes, I would just go over to my portable AC unit, plug it in, and then continue to power my AC unit to keep myself cool. All these different applications, all these different ways that we think about using our portable AC units or keeping our fans cool, and then beyond. Because remember, since this is gonna last you 10 years, it's not just for the summertime, right? This is also going to be for what? For the winter time, for spring, fall, for the next 10 years. How about this? How about a blow dryer? How about being able to plug a blow dryer in? Because why? Because you can. Because in those moments where you have a meeting or you need to get ready for FaceTime with the kids or a Skype for work, or maybe you're meeting somebody for lunch, you don't want to look disheveled and say, we had lost power last night. I didn't have my coffee this morning. I didn't have breakfast. I couldn't get myself ready. You can use your blow dryer. Or how about this? Maybe not just using your AC unit for a heater as well, but maybe even a heating blanket. Heating blanket is actually one of the most effective ways to go ahead and actually kind of stretch out the amount of time that you can keep yourself warm because it's not 1,000 watts, it's roughly about 157. And then, Suze, that's one of the things that you were talking about, we talked about with the generator. In all these different applications, we're all looking for ways to stretch the amount of time we can run it. So you start to prioritize what's important to me, which is why when we kind of think about that hybrid system of a generator and our EcoFlow, it's what I did with my neighbor. He was running out of gas and said, save your gas, let me give you this. You're gonna run it throughout the night so you can actually sleep in the middle of the night because you don't have a generator running, and then use that to charge your EcoFlow. And again, remember, this doesn't power 80% or 90, powers 99% of your appliances inside of your home, not outside.
That's amazing, really, when you think about it. 99% of all the, and think of all the stuff we plug in every single day. Like if you really look around your living room right now or your den or whatever, you go, I plug in that, the TV, blah, 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 blah. How many of you work remote? My husband's company is a national company. He doesn't have the luxury of being without power and saying, I don't got power, I can't work. He has to keep working. And so between his hotspot on his phone and our EcoFlow and his computer, he can keep connected, which is pretty darn amazing when you think about it. He continued to work even though we were completely without power for several days because he couldn't not work for his company. He had to keep working. So there's so many really real-time reasons right now to make sure you have this. And here's what I'd recommend. Just get it and then you're done. And then you'll never have to worry about it again. Because I'll guarantee you, when was the last time there was a big power outage or emergency, a big snowstorm, ice storm, whatever, all the power went out. Everybody runs to the hardware store, and at that point you'll spend any amount of money and you will buy the dented last gas generator at the hardware store, right? You don't care. Everybody gets so desperate. Don't be that person. Be proactive. And remember, you don't have to have gallons of gas sitting around your house. It's funny, my husband used so little gas when he went up north on our EcoFlow when he was living off grid that he actually had to run the generator for several hours
to get
burn
rid of
through the gas because
yeah.
he couldn't leave the gas in there because he was leaving, right? So he wasted all that gas, but that is how economical his little hack is.
Yeah.
But even if you don't have a gas generator, the great news is you're getting the solar panel. And I do want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because when you think, okay, why do we need the solar panel? Because now you're never going to be without power. This, to me, included in our configuration is such a game changer.
Well, and it totally makes sense. You know, this is the reason why when we think about just the output of power, but the overall experience that we talk about. And look, eventually, just as you might run out of gas, you're going to run out of power on the power station. What do you do when you're still out of power at home? Well, you take your 160-watt solar panel and you put it right outside in the sun. You can actually have up to 500 watts of total solar input to your power station and recharge it in about 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And in fact, less than 2.5 hours. So that's amazing at 500 watts. We give you the solar panel included in the bundle. When you start to even add that up, I was just talking to one of our HSN family members here in the studio. He's like, I was gonna get the solar panel. I can't get the solar panel by itself. It doesn't make any sense. I save so much just getting it in the bundle.
That's actually really true.
That's why it makes so much sense for so many people to do it that way.
That's right, because the solar panels sold separately. We had them available. They sold out. Was over $400 and some, right? Not on sale. And then we had it on sale, so those completely gone. So it does make more. If you're going to spend $400, you might as well just get the whole another system, and now you've got double the amount.
You get double the solar panels, you get double the power, especially by having 2 power stations, and you get double the carts. By the way, the cart is no slouch. It is completely aluminum. In fact, up to 165 pounds you can use and carry on that cart. I love that it's got the 4 wheels. Look, we think about the generators. Yeah, they've got wheels, but now all of our EcoFlows will when we have it included with the cart. Just going back to the solar panel. Solar panel, we talk about renewability so we can recharge our power station, but here's the other way you get to use your solar panel. So you get to use it as a solar generator. So while this is connected to your power station, all of that power that's coming from the sun that's converted into energy is going to pass through my solar panel and then pass through my power station to all the appliances that I got plugged in. So when we show you these numbers, when we talk about the numbers of how long it can run this or how long it can run that, that doesn't even include that while I have my solar panels out, let's say I'm out tailgating, I can be charging my phones, I can be powering fans, I can be doing all these different things using the sun for free. This isn't free. And so we love being able to include the solar panels. The solar panels, by the way, they're not heavy, they're not glass, they're actually really, really well built, and they are also weatherproof too. You've got the stands that are right here on the back to go ahead and have it to stand it up, and the cable does come included. Right. But I love this is, I think again, when we think about just renewability, this is not for everybody. The power station that we're showing you is, I'm gonna actually go over to your side.
It's definitely not for me. I do not touch I can't even lift our gas powered.
So honestly, do you want this, which I've left it here in the studio because I was like, I'm not bringing it back home.
I can't even put it in the car. I couldn't lift it up to
that, right in front of you.
Let me pick this one up.
Right.
Yeah, I can go and move this one.
Yeah.
And again, so much more versatility. It does so much more than that can ever do. And you'll never, ever have to buy gas again if you don't want to use your generator, or if you know someone who doesn't even have a gas generator. They're simply not prepared.
Yep.
I said this earlier, and I want to kind of go back and show the demo again. Right now, in Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri, Texas, Louisiana, California, Oklahoma, those are the states that have at least a minimum of 10,000 houses without power. Do you know in Kentucky right now, I looked, there's a site you can look right now, who's got power, who doesn't. In Kentucky right now, there's 40,000 households without power, 40,000 people. Kentucky, were you prepared for that? Probably not. Kentucky doesn't get a lot of crazy weather. But you never know when it's going to happen. And the one thing about having the EcoFlow is that is just one thing off your list. You don't have to worry about power. You don't have to fear that you can't charge your cell phone. Like I said, I hope you buy it tonight and use it for all the cool, fun things. The tailgating, the family reunion, because you want to have, karaoke night at the park, or, you're doing an event. Maybe it's for the church and you're going to have an outdoor event and you need to hook up speakers and have power. There's no cords. Use it for the fun stuff. Hopefully, maybe it's watching movies outdoors. That would be really cool. Yeah. Maybe you're out camping. Oh my gosh, we have so many people who camp who are huge EcoFlow fans because they want to camp, but they still have to have power, and now you can have it anywhere. So I want you to use it for all of that. But boy, when something big happens and you're without power, I don't care if it's 1 or 2 hours or it's multiple days, that's when you're like, oh, thank God. And it really is that moment. It's a thank God moment that we actually have the EcoFlow. Would I say that about a pair of earrings? No, I don't say, oh, thank God I got a pair of earrings. So my EcoFlow, boy, when you need it and you're in that emergency, that's the moment that you pat yourself on the back and said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I made this investment. This is one of the big deals, and I want you to show the demo again. For the price, okay, how much is food today?
Ridiculous.
You could spend $200 to feed a family on one trip to the grocery store. If everything had to be thrown out of your freezer and your refrigerator right now, how much would that cost you?
Yep.
Imagine if you could save it. How much is that going to save you? And for basically probably the price of having to throw out everything in your fridge, I bet you will come close to paying for this tonight.
Without a doubt, my family owns a couple of restaurants. The biggest problem is food cost is insane. Yeah. As just regular consumers of food, which we all are, when you go to the grocery store, you look at your receipt, like you said, you walk out with 10 things, you think, what did I get? It doesn't make any sense. This is what sustains us. And just to break down further what, when we talk about 30,000 people here, 50,000 people here, not too long ago, a week ago when we were doing this, 100,000 people there. Okay, if you're in Kentucky, now let's break that down even further. You don't have power and it's what, 30 below? outside. Now you're thinking, how do I stay warm? You're not feeling prepared, so maybe you didn't even go to the grocery store to get food. So now you're thinking, well, I need to make sure I keep all the stuff in here, obviously, stay cool as well. So all these different things. Well, what about warming ourselves up with the food? So it's not just, oh, well, they're out of power. They're out of power in the middle of an ice storm, and they need to think about ways to keep themselves warm. And to your point, be proactive and be thinking, I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever does happen, I'm going to have a way to have power to do something like this.
Yeah, and the sense of peace of mind and security you have, it's no longer an isolated, scary feeling anymore. You don't have to worry about it. And yes, that's a full-size double-door fridge freezer, guys.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, this only powers a dorm fridge.
Yep.
I mean, this is a big, heavy-duty fridge we have in the studio, and it's powering it perfectly. In fact, this little unit that I can carry around will power up to 99% of your indoor household appliances. That is unheard of. Oh, by the way, not only are they the not best-selling power system at HSN, they're the #1 in the country. And isn't it amazing to get the best as opposed to having to not sacrifice, but have to settle for the 5th best or the 10th? You're getting the #1 most popular, highest rated power system from HSN, and you're getting a spectacular offer. Like I said, in a couple hours at midnight, the price is going to go up to almost $1,200. You can still buy it if you want to at $1,200. I wouldn't, but you can, that's okay. But why would you? Because tonight, while they last, this is the last hour. It is the last and final presentation. Justin's gonna get out of here because he's heading to the biggest consumer electronics show in the world. So he's done at this hour. When he leaves and we hit midnight, the price is gonna go up substantially. In fact, you will spend almost $600 more after midnight tonight to get this exact same configuration because you wait. Again, make sure to check out. Our systems will take it out of a cart where it's just sitting there, and we'll move it into a cart that's actively buying it. So you never ever want to wait. And you want to get our final quantity, because the next time you see it, or even tomorrow, if you go online, you think about it all night, you go, you know what? I really do want peace of mind. You know what? I really don't want to have to worry about that anymore. I'm just going to, bite the bullet and do it. It's going to be $1,200 tomorrow. And you're going to be like, oh, wait, what happened to the price? It's because it all ends tonight at midnight. You got to take advantage of it. We have free shipping. That saves you a ton of money. This is not a small little box of earrings that comes to your door. It's nice, big, happy boxes. You also have 5 FlexPay if you want to use your own major credit card. If you use our HSN card, we're offering you 12 or 18-month VIP financing, which means as long as you pay it off any way you want between 12 and 18 months, you will get absolutely 0 interest charged. That's what makes our card so darn unique. And if you want to get it right now, you can. You save $25 on your first purchase, but now's the time to do it. We've got 10 minutes to go before I'm going to talk about my fabulous Hue outfit. I am so comfortable in this outfit. I love Hue. I know you probably wore Hue.
You love me?
I love Hue. I do love Hue. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, so let's talk about this again.
Yeah.
Let's kind of go through the 360 of the experience.
Yeah, well, I just want to touch one last thing what you had just said, which was you think, why would we settle for 2nd, 3rd, or 4th best? You would think, well, I would do that because, well, 2nd, 3rd, 4th best is more affordable. This is the most affordable that you're going to find anywhere, and it's the latest and greatest from the best, EcoFlow. We're the #1 brand right here at HSN when it comes to power. We're also the #1 power station brand in the United States. If you notice what I just did, we talked about everybody in Kentucky right now across the country that's out of power. If it's 30 below outside and I have to go outside for a generator, that doesn't sound fun. One touch of a button where? Inside my home, where it's warm, where I'm comfortable, where I'm safe. One touch of a button. I've got my light and my fan running right now. You'll notice I've got the percentage right here. I've also got the watts showing me exactly how much power. And then right here, this little number will show me at the very top how much time. So it's calculating everything. My generator's not going to do that. In fact, my generator, I'm going to have to go outside to check and see how much gas I have left, put more gas in. I don't have to do that with this. Whereas I can run this inside. Now, I want you to notice I got my light, my fan running, and we still have the refrigerator plugged in. So I'm just,
You go that way.
Oh, yeah, I'll go this way.
Go ahead.
I wanted to just say, all the frozen food that might be in there, whatever it might be. I mean, we could think about grabbing any type of perishable stuff, whether it's frozen food or not, and then, whether it's the air fryer food, or we can actually use that induction burner. We were cooking, tailgating with my dad. We were doing sausage and peppers and onions. How about a full-size microwave, too? This is a 1,700-watt full-size microwave with a full-size refrigerator, with our light, with our fan. So we're not in the dark. we're staying cool, we're staying warm, and then we're cooking our food and we're keeping our food cool. Again, when you start to prioritize this, what do we need? These are the things, when we go back down to the basics, these are the things that we need.
Yes. Oh, I completely agree. It's just so true. And like I said, once you do it, I understand. This isn't a $20 item. We all understand that.
Right.
But the value of it is invaluable, either for fun or for those serious things that happen. And if you've gone through it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know how scary it was. Did you have to try to call somebody? Boy, this last hurricane, we had friends trying to get out to people out at the beaches here, and they had to transport a gas-generated power system via boat because you couldn't even get over the bridges to get to the store to buy a generator, a gas-powered generator. They were in such desperate straits out at the beach area because there was no way to get inland, to get to a store. You could escape for that matter. And so I heard so many horrific stories about people without power, what they were trying to do. Some people said, oh, I froze up a whole bunch of baggies of like gallon bags and stuck them in my fridge. Well, that's going to work for a little bit, but if you go more than a day or so, you're throwing everything out of your fridge. And if you've ever done that, how sad was that? And how much money did you lose by throwing everything away? Just think about the meat in your freezer. Today, the cost of food is so expensive. Just that one time having to toss all of that food out, how much did that cost? I'm betting you it was very close to the price of buying this. And you can imagine not having that happen. And then all the other creature comforts you're talking about that make us feel more settled, that makes us feel more peaceful, makes us feel not as scared, not as frightened. And certainly you feel less isolated because you can still make that cell phone call. You can still power up those things. You know, people can reach you.
Right.
The freak out moment is mom and dad are in Florida. The hurricane's just hit and I can't reach them because their cell phones run out of power and they have nowhere to plug it in. Or have you heard about the neighborhood? The one guy has the gas generator and everybody's begging him, can I plug in just a little bit to get my phone charged up a little? Don't be that neighborhood. Don't be that person. Really be self-sufficient. And that's what the EcoFlow allows you to do. If something happens that's bad, you're okay. You're going to be good. You're going to have the necessities that you need in a really safe and, quite frankly, a brilliant system.
It is. Again, back to what drives innovation. What was the kind of dawn of time of what created these types of power stations is because us as consumers were saying, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way for us. You know, when we think of, well, what's easiest or where can I use it? If you're in an apartment or condo, you can't own a generator. So what do? When we think about just the usability of it, with something that's, you know, fairly demonstrable, we want something that's going to be able to be used inside of our home. Again, all of those different things, that's the necessity. Those are the things that drive innovation. We continue to drive innovation at EcoFlow. We continue to get better and better and better. All the things that we're showing you are ways that you're going to use it. But I will say, these are ways that you're going to use it in more fun ways than just simply emergencies. And so that drives me to the point of, look, when you think about investing, because this is a true investment, you're investing in what? You're investing in kind of an insurance policy, but you're also investing in an insurance policy where you get to say, I get to actually use that insurance policy for the fun things.
That's true.
Right? I mean, that's not simply what we think of for when we have our health insurance or car insurance, but with your EcoFlow insurance, it is. So know when you have this at home, it's ways that you're going to have fun with it, not just something that's going to sit there and wait for an emergency like your gas generator. So you'll invest the same amount of money on a gas generator that'll sit and wait, whereas you can invest in something that's easier, more innovative, more cutting edge, the literal top technology that you're going to find from the best in the industry. And the reason why we have the best deal here at HSN is because we launched EcoFlow here. That's the relationship that we built.